There we go. Alright. Alright. Yeah, despite the impression I might give, but I don't have a lot of free time. And I'm just thinking, oh, make sure the music's not too loud. I did turn up the music a little bit. Yeah. Oh, that's my mic. There we go. Yeah, despite the impression I might give, but I don't have a lot of free time. Alright. You know, just James, Stephanie, Sterling popped in my head because I used to watch them on a weekly basis whenever they made a new video, and they said they were going to take a break from doing every Monday. And it's been like 3 months. I'm just curious. I've spent about maybe 5 minutes that I had to look it up and try to figure out what's going on with her or them. Excuse me. And couldn't find anything really. Nothing new on the Twitter. Nothing new on the website. You know, the mailings list is still there, so I guess I can mail them. And it's amazing as how long I've been doing stuff like this. And like seeing other people who are just wildly greatly more successful than me, like just outright quit. And who knows what the hell they're doing now. Alright, I think we're ready to start penciling this. Let's lighten up the penciling a little bit. I've decided with the comes to the wording, I want to keep all the wording separate. That way I can modify it and adjust it as I see fit when I compile this together on the computer. That way it can stand alone as an illustration, and the wording I can impose on later, which will also be hand drawn, probably on the side here. But yeah, James has just been on my mind today. You know, I always thought they were pretty good. It's amazing how many, if you look up Stephanie Sterling, how many people like try to shit on them with their opinions, because you know, God forbid someone queer talk about things related to them, their queer experience, and other people they know. So I don't know. I'm just genuinely curious. I like, well, whatever's better for them. Like, you know, it's better for them not to make videos anymore and to do the professional wrestling scene and writing reviews, and so be it. I just haven't seen anything like that from them, or like even an announcement on their YouTube channel. Couldn't find anything on Reddit, but you know, then again, I only had about a couple minutes to look into it. Like even here, I only have maybe a couple hours at best, and then I have to go to bed and get up at 5 a.m. I'm gonna get less than 5 hours of sleep today. That's fine. One day the week ain't gonna kill me. Yet. Try that music to that loud again. Sleep today. That's fine. One day the week ain't gonna kill me. Yet. There's all this noise. Why is all this noise? Yeah, let's try that. See how that works. All right. What else I have? Yeah, it is kind of amazing. Like, Technically, I am a failed artist, aren't I? Is life. I mean, I guess you're only a failure if you quit, right? That's what they say. That's what people say. Motivational speakers. You're only a failure if you quit. I guess I'll never quit. That's why I can't fathom. I can't fathom some of these people who just like up and leave and quit. Like I want to create. And create. And create. Again, I guess it does also depends what you're making too. I was telling some people at the New Jersey meetup I was at with, I think it was like, it was Devil Witch is one person I met, and some other people I was talking to, telling them how like success or not, at the end of the day, at least I can look back on everything I've done and say it's mine, and I did it because I wanted to. I did it not because I was chasing a trend. And yeah, there's a little bit of that mindset, like, hey, you know, this type of thing's popular, that might be fun to do, so I try it. Where's my character sheet? I kind of need my character sheet. There it is. Keep these bastards on model. Keep these bastards on model. They are bastards. It's funny. I posted the first page of this in the sketch form and laid out my routine. And I said I hate calling it a kid's book. This ain't AB fucking C's. And my mom left a comment like, "Don't swear." Like, sorry, mom. Sorry, mom. Everywhere that I'm not around, yeah, your place, I normally cuss. Been doing that ever since I was 6. Went out with my best friend, and like we were just allowed to just curse willy nilly, and we didn't give a shit. It didn't matter. There was no like, oh, you said a dirty word. Like, who cares? Nothing magical. Nothing magical about curse words. 4 letters. And like, I've seen what happens too when you try to suppress that shit. You end up with an adult who just thinks the word fuck is funny. Forever. They'll just say fuck. And that's the punchline. They said fuck. They said the dirty word they weren't allowed to say all their life. I've also been thinking about the angle that I originally started this endeavor in my art channel. And a little bit of George Carlin, a little bit of John Waters, a little bit of Bob Ross. You know, definitely still dig it. So, I have some thoughts about it, you know, but kind of like what I'm going for. I was also talking with my first husband too, and like the channel I would like to emulate. If I were to emulate any channel, or at least the channel that reflects on what I kind of want to do the most, would be Tale Foundry. They talk about books and fiction, movies, and how it like relates to our real world experiences. And I was thinking of like all these movies I watched. In fact, I could probably just try to do one off the cuff right now. So there's this director named Ty West. He directed the X trilogy. There's a movie called X. Second movie is a prequel called Pearl. Third movie is called Maxine with 3 X's. And they're all loosely connected. You can technically watch any one of them in any order. Doesn't matter. And it's all about just like how the desire for fame can just destroy you. I'd say each one of those movies has a little bit of that into it. The first one, X, which is like the in-between film. You have we'll just call the main character, I forgot her, well, Maxine. Maxine. And there's this constant, like, worried as they encounter this old couple who's got this barn that they're using for their porn film. And she has to say to herself in the mirror in one scene, saying, "You'll not end up like her, you'll not end up like her, you'll not end up like them." This really, like, aging couple, can't do anything, don't have anything going on, kind of been stuck on the farm their whole lives. And Pearl, as it turns out, had aspirations to be a movie star, to escape the farm that they're living on, and to, you know, go on and do great things. And that's where the movie Pearl comes in later, where we focus on the character Pearl, her, like, mental anguish and downfall. She has this desire for fame, desire for validation, desire for something beyond taking care of a father who's mentally not there anymore, and an overbearing mother. She feels just completely trapped on this farm, taking care of people she doesn't really care for anymore. Instead of possibly looking into maybe just making the most of what she has there, he's slowly driven bonkers over the desire for something more, thinking that it was destiny, believing that it's destiny, and taking out that anger and frustration and bitterness on those around her when she doesn't get it. Hey, I did it without saying any spoilers to either of those movies. Maxine, I wish I could go on a little deeper in it, but I mean, if you really want to look into it, I think Maxine is kind of the example of how you lose your humanity in pursuit of memorable fame and recognition. I think by the end of that movie, you could say Maxine has none of that left. She is simply no longer there. She's like just an entity, an idea of a person, lost in her role. I thought that was an interesting aspect. I probably want to eventually write a script and video on it, but I have a couple others in the pipeline. I have one about Synthetic Man. I'll use my dark counterpart, dark mirror version of myself. And then after that, I have the Plague Dogs, which I'm going to refine that script a little bit more. I was rereading some of it, and kind of, it's been long enough I can reread it and kind of like bring myself a little bit to tears, thinking about how the Plague Dogs relates to the livelihoods of various people who never had a chance to begin with. What we got here? I think we would make these mushrooms. No, I can make these rocks. Make these stone rocks. Let's find the groundwork here for Maryland. Oh, yeah, as I was saying, yeah. X, Pearl, and Maxine. All good. could have dug Maxine a little bit more, but I like the real world setting. I like how it takes place at a real time that took place. But it's also like still fiction. Characters that are involved. And themes and ideas. And that's why I relate to Tail Foundry's channel so much, is like he's doing what I want to do. Because I look at stuff he's doing and stuff I'm working on now as a lot more timeless than responding to news articles or, you know, having it be on the latest movie or video game trend. It's like, no, fucking let's dig into some shit. Let's dig into some deep shit. Especially in the animation scene. Like, fucking dog shit animation here in the States, for the most part. I mean, you know, generalizing, of course. Plenty of good examples. But, you know, lately, the movies I've watched have had a lot more of an impact than anything coming out of Pixar lately. Or Disney in general. I like the Mario movie from Illumination, but, you know, come on. Not much to look into that there. I mean, it'd be fun to do it, I guess, as like a challenge, but you want good animated movies? Mars Express. Fucking amazing. Bird Boy, based on a graphic novel. Or Mars Express is probably based on something real, too. Beforehand. Unicorn Wars, which is like a My Little Pony Vietnam movie. I want to get into those. I really do. Because I don't see many people talking about them other than just like, oh, it's not for kids. Ooh, it's gory. Oh, whoa. Wow, it's pretty radical. Yeah, it's not for kids. I hate that shit. Let the parents decide what's for and not for their kids, alright? Outside of anything illegal. Let them decide, huh? You know, my parents let me watch Nightmare on Elm Street, Beavis and Butthead, all those horror movies back then. Event Horizon, when it came out, when I was like 7. Come on. So I'm able to endure news stories about fucking Palestine and not go fucking crawl in a corner for a week and die, essentially. I endure the horrors. I think it's important to at least acknowledge what's going on. And if you really feel the need that you feel like you can do something or you want to do something, then get into the fucking politics of it. Challenge that shit. Come city council. As long as your nose, you know, as long as your nose is pretty much clean, and there isn't anything that's going to destroy your political career, you know, that you've done in high school, anything like that, go for it. Why not? We got to lose. Hello. /B. Low-key forgotten how you can draw. Yeah. I've been drawing. Well, today I've been drawing, I don't know, about 20 minutes. Is that what it says? No, really? It's been 20 minutes? Man, it feels like I'm talking forever. I started, my first, like, drawing I ever kind of did was, like, in the 2nd grade. But as far as drawing for real, it was since the 6th grade. I still have a bunch of that shit, too. You know, I could just pull it out right now. It's good. Keep your old stuff, I think. Just remind, if you need to. I don't really need the reminder anymore. Sometimes you need to remember how far you came, huh? Yeah, it's not like... Oh shit, I do even do have the second grade thing I did. The haunted house. Yeah, I was a big Mario fan, so I was doing a lot of shit I saw from Super Mario Brothers. As long as it says haunted house, like fucking villains from Mario. You know, that's definitely something a second grader did. And so I started off like most people do, drawing shit from magazines and video game manuals. I discovered StarCraft. What else we got in here? I'm starting to believe some of this shit's from fucking 99. Yeah, middle school. Quake. Quake inspired, definitely. And, of course, the arts are always a joke in most schools. Most schools, they have you do paper mache shit. Ah, here's one of the ones. Yeah. 6th grade, Command and Conquer fan. So, of course, I had to make some of that shit. Yeah, another Command and Conquer. Command and Conquer Red Alert, and then StarCraft. StarCraft took over, and then Half-Life came over, and I started making up my own aliens. I got a lot of shit for that. First, I was accused of drawing dinosaurs, and then I said no, they're aliens, and that somehow made the grief even worse. And no one knew what the fuck Half-Life was. Like, I was in middle school, pretty much playing the fucking greatest game of all time on my PC with my Voodoo 1 graphics card. No one around my vicinity, except for like maybe one other person I encountered, knew what the fuck Half-Life was. No one in my church knew what the fuck Half-Life was either. I had to like describe this legendary game to these people. And then, I'm still practicing Barry the Butcher. Pretty sure that was from a drawing. Or like a concept art. More original stuff from high school. I think that's pretty much covers it for the most part. And, you grow up and go to college, and I went to community college. Luckily, I didn't saddle myself with hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. My parents and my 2 jobs primarily paid for it. Primarily my parents paid for it. What am I kidding? My 2 jobs didn't pay for shit, other than some video games and food and car repairs. Mostly car repairs. I at least graduated with associates with a commercial art degree. What good that did me. Because, absolutely still, then and still now, I have no interest in doing fucking designs for brochures and other crap. Especially now. Holy shit. I mean, if I had to, I had to at some point, like, if we move and it's like either this and, the street, I guess I would have to apply myself for that. Avoid having to do like hard labor or something. Right now, I don't get much in terms of drawing at my current day job, but I'm also not being creatively drained and exhausted for making corporate bullshit. time lapse going. Come on. Solidify TJ in here. TJ is the Mouse Guard inspired character. I just kind of wanted to make that like an Easter egg for his design. Definitely pay attention to his blog, because I don't know if he wants to do any more like legends of Mouse Guard and stuff. If he like ever opens up for that again, I'd like to submit some stories and see if he would allow me to partake. Be a nice little break into the comics industry. And then the goal with this is to get 2 pages done, start sending it out to publishers while I work on the rest. I don't know if I've ever come for anything, but hey, it's, you know, I'd rather do it than not do it. And try it. Like, I got nothing to lose. Man, this great character looks goofy as fuck. I love it. Alright. The background in here. I wanted some of the grass up above him. Some of the foliage or whatever. What else is on my job here? Yeah. I think the other thing that comes to mind too is like I've seen my other relatives. I don't know. It just seems weird to just work a job for 50 plus years and not do anything else. Or I don't know, just like take care of the house the entire time, not have anything else going on. I don't know. I guess I don't know anyone like that, really. Parents had, dad has music, has friends and clubs and stuff like that. Bible study clubs, I guess. I don't know. Me, though, I feel like... I feel called out watching this one horror movie, which I do kind of want to do another... I do want to do a commentary on a little bit. It's called Spree. And it's about this guy who's just like a failed streamer, right? Because he's doing what everyone else is doing that already got popular. And he's doing it for years. Gonna do it, getting a following, right? So he decides, just like out of the blue, like there's no build up to it. Just decides out of the blue he's just gonna do a stream where he just murders people throughout the entire stream. And not like a spree killer, or like it's like one incident. He just he does like a lift, gets a guy to drink poison. And he has a buddy who's like a very popular streamer he's trying to get like tips off of. And he's like making fun of him the entire time though, thinking that it's not real. He's like, okay, well, like I actually like killed a guy. And his buddy says, well, if a bear shits in the woods and no one's there to watch it, it doesn't matter what he's doing. But as he escalates things though, he starts actually building up more of an audience. And naturally, of course, in real life, if something was going down like that, eventually that stream would get taken down and get taken out pretty quick, as it's been demonstrated by other people who've tried that. It doesn't take long for it to actually go down. Depending on what they probably title it too. I'm sure there's probably some like mod too that gets an alert like, hey, this person's never streamed before, they're streaming the first time, better at least see what they're doing. Something in that, sure. But anyways, what was it? What was it doing? Oh yes, the part that called me out though. I felt me like so it's so cringy to me to say it because there's a part where he even does like an Elliot Rodger video where he's on the street next to a highway, making his little like fucking manifesto shit. But at one point he's like losing his mind as he's like driving through a homeless camp, running down tents, and he's like, these people, they don't even fucking bother. They don't even fucking bother try to like be put themselves out there. They might as well not even exist. And that statement right there, they might as well not even exist. It's like, man, that feels called out because I feel like if I don't do anything, it's like I don't even exist. Like, I don't care about the validation. I don't care about fucking people I don't care about fucking people watching me. I've long since put that away. If I even had it to begin with. That's the one thing everyone always tells you, and like, don't expect fame and fortune. Anyone who's honest admits that they're, right place at the right time. I think Eyepatch Wolf said it best when he was talking about stupid influencers and YouTube channel guide coaches. I mean, he's like, if you wanted my advice, if you want to get popular on YouTube, make Shonen Jump anime videos 10 years ago. Like I did 10 years ago. And then, you can build your shit up from there. It's admitting that it was, like a fluke, right? Could have been anyone else that was near his level. He's having to post at the right time, right tags or whatever. Now, granted, if his quality was shit, how many people make shit they're on par with him that we'll never hear about. Like, there's a channel that I watch occasionally. Occasionally, by I mean like once in a while. Like, I watch one video of theirs, I think once out of the year. It's called Mustard Bus. And they do a cooking show. They do literary reviews. Still under 1,000 subs. Been doing it for over a decade. A bunch of friends getting together and just doing shit. I mean, that... You want an example of just like, hey, just do it for the sake of doing it. For creativity purposes, for creation's sake. That's the example right there. And maybe if they slow down, I think if they slow down, maybe step back, did some brainstorming when it comes to marketing and advertising and focus, they could probably take off. Maybe. I don't know. I'm no expert. Maybe they'll have to spend 1,000 and plus in ads on a bunch of various websites to get the eyeballs on there. And hope word of mouth carries from there. Yeah. Even it's on a cutting board. Never want to draw on a flat, hard surface. You can gouge out the paper that way. And it's harder to erase, make corrections. Kind of figure out where all the blacks are going to go. Do some basic shading. You know, get the sense of contrast. Various moss, rocks, twigs. I can probably put this out here. Like it's sticking out. There we go. Not worry about too much going over the line because, you know, it means I have more to work with in terms of bleed. Shrink this down. Big edges on these petals here. Make this look like a fucking... How come we have this flower in multiple frames? Might as well go all out with it here. Alright. I feel like an Easter egg in here. Oh, I mean, TJ itself is an Easter egg, but... I don't want to think about it too hard. Should put something in here. Something a little hidden and nifty. Underneath here is going to be like a bunch of shadow, right? Alright, I have an idea. Better not say it then, so... Item. clear what this is. Some vines in there. Oh shit, you know. I ran out of things to talk about. You know. I still managed to get an editing video clip done today. I got to watch some episodes of anime too. Kaiju number 8's pretty fucking badass. Don is another one we've been following. Pretty fucking awesome. Kaiju number 8. I wish it would have focused on the cleanup crew. The crew that comes along to clean up the kaijus after they're blown to bits. But, you know, that's not the direction they wanted to go with, so it still works. I kind of like the I don't know, I just like these animes that have just escalating power levels and threats and characters overcoming adversity through just sheer willpower. Which I know is silly, but hey, sometimes it works. Well, sometimes you don't have a choice but to keep going and not give up. Definitely something I can relate to. Because where would any of us be if we just gave up? Not even just like living. Well, I guess you could call it that, giving up on living, but I just met so many people when I worked insurance sales that focused on seniors. I met so many seniors that just didn't have anything going on because they never had anything going on their entire lives, really. No real hobbies outside of maybe like watching football, I guess. Drinking beer. At least fishing something. At least hunting something. Even if it's just like really playing a guitar. for the shit of it. I realize too, a lot of people that I've encountered that have like a lot of these weird shortcomings in terms of like their, I don't know, their place in life, and in terms of I know it's not all connected economically, but I don't know. Just the lack of motivation to improve to the point you're just subconscious about everything. Like there's one guy I knew, on again, off again, homeless. I tried to get him to like do a video with me. And he wanted to do a video. He did. It involved doing a dance, and he was just like so self-conscious about doing this stupid fucking like meme dance that's going around, thinking he wouldn't be able to do it right or he needed to practice and to get a routine down. It's like, it's not this isn't Step Up. This is just a simple meme dance. It's like they're so defeatist on everything. Trying to bring up like, hey, maybe you should try this. No. Maybe you should look into this. Maybe you can learn this. No, I definitely can't do that. Oh, okay. It's infuriating a little bit because like I watched that Boogie interview where he does a job interview and just fails hard at it, and it's like, I know in his case it's a fucking act, but certainly seeing people like that are just completely self-defeating. You know, if you like, you constantly say you have all these problems and you can't do it, you can't do this, you can't do that, and it's like, well, you're just never gonna, you can't expect to get ahead. And I don't know, what do you want? I know some of that can be instilled in a person. I'm watching another channel called Deconstructing Narcissism, where basically a guy is navigating life while coming to terms with his abusive parents and like the weird behaviors they had, stealing his stuff, infantilizing him, setting like setting him up for failure when it comes to like doing a job, even suggesting like, "Oh no, you can stay here. We'll take care of you. Stay here with us. Don't move out." Like what is that? Crazy kooky stuff. I think pretty much getting the pencils down here enough where I can have to confidently ink some of the stuff here. It's one a variety of environment here. Maybe a bunch of stippling for dirt. Darken area here. Slowly the cave comes to light. I mean, like organic stuff, you can pretty much, I feel like you can just be pretty loose with it at all. It's not the primary focus. It's not the subject. It's not an illustration either. It's a drawing of the first page. Yeah, This flower's gonna have spots. Why not? I don't like where this leaves and stuff are planted here. I like the whole thing here. Crystal board is a little more easier to erase from any other pad, especially since watercolor is going to go over it. Some people are against the idea of coloring that block of our painting. I mean, I like it black and white too, but I still feel the need to color it. Who am I kidding? In the drawings I'm looking at the black and white version, I'm like, I think maybe I did that one better. Oh, means I gotta get better at coloring, I guess. Especially like a book like this that's going to be like for like all ages, so to speak. I think color is essential. Not budded yet. Trying to like push through my anxiety to publish this too instantly when I'm done penciling it, and just I need to start making a back catalog of things so I can post them. I think is the most effective time to do so. All right. I think we're pretty much good. I made a lot more progress than I thought in 1 hour. Even less than an hour, technically. I went off and showed off all my childhood drawings. Yeah, that's another thing to consider too. I look at some of the popular art channels. Nothing against what they do, but the idea of trying to like pursue that too just makes me cringe. Where it's like, you know, what if Pokemon were dragons? What if Digimon were Marvel characters? And it's just like the most vapid shit ever. I can never have fun doing that. You kidding me? Yeah, I'm better off doing something like this that's original and then putting some commentary over it and talking about like a relevant, popular topic at the time that I can actually commentate on and not look like an idiot to like someone who doesn't know what they're talking about or has nothing, no knowledge of the subject. You see that a lot. Some event happens and they have to, and it's not just like a news event, but something involving something that they're not qualified to really talk about or care to even do research on. I watched the guy. Well, I didn't watch the guy. I watched a guy watching the guy respond to one of these mass shootings like right after it happened. Like so fast, like he heard the news and he just had to hop on and spend 10 minutes telling us nothing. The only thing that was important to him is that he get on there and try to like low-key suggest that it's not a conservative and it's a left, some kind of leftist that probably did it. It was about the I almost went out and made a parody of it, but I kind of realized like, well, despite how popular the quartering is, I don't know if anyone would be receptive to me making fun of him because he kind of makes fun of himself with his bullshit enough as it is. Yeah, there's a guy. I wonder what the fuck's gonna happen to him when he hits his 40s and 50s. It's one of the things I'm bringing up in my video I'm working on too. These freaks that complain about black people and queer people showing up in their fucking entertainment, in their video games, and their movies, books, or whatever. Like, how sad is their lives going to be if that's what they're talking about in those years? Are they going to be ranting about the new Disney movie when they're like 55 and talking about how woke it is, or whatever new buzzword takes its place? Or are we going to start seeing some of these channels just fucking throw in the towel finally? No, I tried my best. You know, it was all about sending that message that we need to gatekeep these hobbies, but they just took over. They pushed us out. Like, no one's stopping you from playing your old fucking video games. No one's stopping you from having your own fucking D&D campaign. I was stoked. Speaking of D&D, I was stoked to find out that they finally changed things from races to species, because that's what I've been trying to do for forever. Get that race shit out of lexicon. Race is just something fucking made up. And I love how a lot of these chuds try to gaslight people into the idea that there wasn't a bunch of races comparing black people to orcs. Because there were. I ran into some of them in high school. Multiple people, not related to each other. Friend-wise or whatever. They literally compared black people to orcs from Lord of the Rings, saying that all they can do is destroy. I got confronted with that shit. So that was that was a mindset. So yeah, I think it's good that D&D made some, at least when it came to like promoted lore or whatever, made changes to like the various species and heritage classes. Like, hey, just because you're it's an orc Doesn't mean they're inherently fucking violent and evil. And that nuance was always there. You had, even though Drow were considered generally bad people to run into, you had characters that, like Dritz was one you run into. It's like, I guess, a heroic Drow, if I remember right. Ran into him in Baldur's Gate 2. My party killed him. And then I reloaded my save, because that's how you do. That's how you do in RPGs like that. You do a bunch of crazy shit, and then you reload your save. So you don't want it to play out that way. Now if I do an RPG, if I do one like on a stream with Squigs, he's gonna be an evil motherfucker. Like I'm itching for him to get into Planescape Torment, and yeah, just play an all out evil son of a bitch warrior. Or wizard. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. Alright. I think I got the pencils down here. It's not as clear as I'd like it to be, but this is how it goes. I mean, I can clear up some of the sketch lines here. Try to make more of a guide. Some of the plant life here, especially. I just had this weird one here, gangly arm leaf or something. I'm gonna have one come out over here then. Bounce it out. Solidify those lines a little bit more. Darker area here. Black that out. Black all that out. Someone text me. Oh yeah, find that. Cats are back. Comic book. I never cared for SWAT cats as a kid. There's very little furry media that was good back then. Yeah, Gargoyles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I guess Beast Wars counts. And that's it. I mean, Mighty Max, I guess, with Virgil the Fowl. Does that count? He's a cutie. I should have Squigs have fun with him. Add things here to make it, I don't know, make things look more alive, I guess. What's it do? I think I'm pretty much done penciling it. Can't believe I'm done penciling it. And I guess I shouldn't get too excited because I know the inking is the part that takes the most. Adding the details, basically replacing the shading with cross-hatching. Trying not getting tendonitis with it or something, whatever else is going on. Whatever else happens to artists. Especially when it comes to, like, stippling, dirt, whatever. I don't know. Look up fucking ink drawings of forests. Get an idea of how to do it. Some people just leave it completely blank. Jesus. Some people just fill the fucking up. Really good. Was that? Oh, never mind. It says it's the stock image. Yeah, I remember too. Sometimes less is more. Jesus. Give me a fucking run of my money here. It's fun too, because it doesn't look that. You zoom in on details. It doesn't look that complicated. It's just ends up just being a series of lines. One direction and then two directions. And how dark you want the wood to be and the lighting to be. Figure out basically where all the blacks are going to be. Yeah. I'm just going to have to fill this all in. I don't want to do the markers because they tend to get drowned out by the watercolor. Probably do some stippling and stuff. Figure out a fast way to do that. Yeah, I think I'll first start inking the characters, anything that happens to be in front of them. Here, just have a little bit of... Oh yeah, where's his tail? Where's this guy's tail? Which one has no tail? Nin has a tail. Have it come around here. Alright, well, this routine is doable. Alright, well, I gotta wrap it up. I got a thumbnail to make real quick, and then video to post for tomorrow. Yeah, he's the one that's got the sprout. onion nuggets. Gotta get ahead on those clips so I can work on edit my own video. Or right now I'm like I'm able to just crank out one a day. I need to be able to crank out a little more than that so I can get ahead. Well, come the weekend I can usually get ahead that way. And then give me some leeway to work on my own thing. That's how I've been doing it for a bit. He's closer, we're going to see more detail of him, right? Not like that. I feel like that's off. Give me my mouse guard reference. You don't ever see their mouths. They really do just from mouse guard. They all just fucking tell you their emotions through their eyes. Tiny little eyes too. There we go. It's first issue. Actually, that looks sad. So, okay, if he's gonna be wide-eyed, you should see his brow come over off his eye. Like that. We almost never do see their mouths, do we? Even here, it feels weird to have any kind of like line or bump. Oh yeah, I forgot about whiskers. Alien has whiskers here. TJ definitely should have whiskers. Even if it's just like short ones. Like that. You won't even see the third one. A little bit of the second one, first one. I almost feel like three's excessive. Yeah, let's just do the two. Keep it off here. Yeah, I don't think you can see his other arm either. Be down here. It's merging with his whisker for some reason. Wouldn't be coming across that. His whisker is there. Just come off the page. All right. I think we're done. The pencil portion of this first page. Next will be the inking. We'll start that tomorrow, hopefully. Might skip tomorrow just to get ahead in editing, maybe. I get back to my original video. I got a YouTube coach trying to help me up my game, so to speak. Hopefully that, well, so far it's been actually helpful. You know, it's nice to sit down and hash ideas. Someone that's not interested in doing it certainly can't do that. Not productively, at least. I guess. Well, I mean, if they're not interested, how do you get them interested? Or like we want to, you know. All right. Where'd you come from? Why do I have a USB-C white cable in and around? All right. Irony of getting art done and getting editing done and still managing a game stream while working full-time job when I wasn't before. Yeah, that is some irony. And it's pure irony. Alright. I gotta go to bed. Good night. Yeah. Put the fucking goodbye on here. Bye. And when the adjustments make the drawing look better, it just tells me that I need to just go back on the lines and do just that, solidify that shit. Get more defined.